The sales have been crazy recently. Got some really good ones to show you today. Let's jump into it. This one's a great flip. I found this 1978 King Cobra vintage ID wear jacket at a Goodwill for $10. I sold it for $190 plus shipping. I think it took about 4 months, maybe 5 months to sell. Very unique jacket. Got the blanket lined look to it as well. So just a great flip overall. Awesome flip here. Here's a Seiko Melodies in Motion clock. Sold these a few times over the years. Got this one thrifting for $20 and I sold it for $170 plus shipping. It only took about 3 weeks to sell and of course made some really good profit on it. Here's a nice flip. This Epson Artisan 1430 wide format printer. Got this at a garage sale for $25. Sold it for $250 plus shipping. It only took 2 or 3 days to sell, so it was a fast sale. The original plan was to sell this for about $400. It ended up not having any ink. These wide format printers can be good money. It's big. I priced it to move, and it moved. This one is an awesome flip. This is an IKEA lamp collaboration with Sonos. Found this at a Goodwill. It was $6. And grabbed it right away because I knew it was worth some good money. Ended up selling it for $200 plus shipping. I really like this lamp. I like the way it looks. I told myself I'm not keeping a $200 lamp with a speaker in it when I don't even really want to use the speaker part. So threw it on eBay, sold it for $200 in about 3 weeks. Here's a Sonic the Hedgehog Mega Man comic book. Got a bunch of these at a garage sale for 50 cents a piece. Some really good ones in there, all the way from $20 to $150. Sold this one for $60 plus shipping, and it sold in about 2 days. Here is a 13-quart Magnolite roaster. Got this at a garage sale for $22 in pretty good condition, and I sold it for $220 plus shipping. It only took about 3 days to sell and made some good profit on it. Of course, these Magnolite Dutch ovens are quite popular and sell quick if you price them right. Here is a Sonic Universe comic. Got this at a garage sale for 50 cents along with a bunch of others. Actually have 2 of these exact ones. Sold the first one for $80. Has a little bit of damage on it. The other one I'm going to be selling for maybe $110. This one only took about 2-3 days to sell. Amazing flip for paying 50 cents, right? Sold a Stop Thief game. This is a vintage electronic game. Got this at a garage sale for $10. I sold it for $50 plus shipping. Took about a month and a half to sell. Sold a KitchenAid blender. Got this at Goodwill for $6. A great price for a KitchenAid. Sold it for $50 plus shipping, and it took about 2.5 months to sell. Here's a pair of Merrill shoes. Got these at a garage sale for $5, and I sold them for $30 plus shipping. This pair only took about a week to sell. Here's a Louisville Slugger Omaha Gold bat. Got this one for $1 at a garage sale. Not a spectacular bat, but I did sell it for $20 plus shipping, so made some profit, and it only took about a week to sell. Here is a new Mr. Coffee iced tea maker. Sold these a few times over the years. They always go pretty quickly and for good profit. Sold this one for $115 plus shipping. Here's a Sportscraft pickleball set. Found this at Goodwill for $5, and I sold it for $40 plus shipping, and it sold in about a month. Good turnaround. Here's a nice flip. This Strixon golf bag. This is still new with the tags. Found this at a garage sale for only $10. When I found it, I thought it was a different one that was selling for about $400. Turns out it's slightly different. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's been listed for about 10 months. I ended up lowering the price to $180, and it has sold for $180 plus shipping. It took right around 10 months to sell. I just love this flip. The Bombay Company brass shell card holders. Found this on a Goodwill shelf for $3. All it is these brass shell card holders. You see, you put the cards in there. I think there's 12 of them here. But they sold for $130 plus shipping. It only took about a month to sell. So certainly if you see that name on something, it's worth looking up. It could be worth selling on eBay. Here is a booty bag. This is just a bag bag made out of a pair of Levi jeans. Found this at Goodwill for $2.99 and sold it for $35 plus shipping. Took right around 3 months to sell, but made some good profit on it. This one's a cool flip. I got these low chessmen chess pieces. These came from a garage sale. Paid $2 for them. They're kind of a rare color. Ended up selling them for $45 plus shipping, and they took just under a year to sell. This is a nice pair of Nike boots. Got these at a garage sale for $10 and sold them for $70 plus shipping, and they sold in about a week is all. Here's an Easton ceramic bat. Got this at a rummage sale for $3. Sold it for $35 plus shipping. It took about 3 weeks to sell is all. This one is a Scrabble Onyx I sold. Got $60 plus shipping for it. Only paid $3 for it. Found it at Goodwill. Kind of crazy it wasn't priced any higher considering they've been raising the price of their games over the past couple years. It took about a month and a half to sell, but $60 plus shipping, great flip. Here is a Wilson tennis racket. Got this at a Goodwill for $5. Sold it for $30 plus shipping. It took about 3 weeks to sell. Here's a Sudoku game, brand new. Got this at a garage sale for $1. Took about a year to sell, but sold it for $18. Sold this Polk Audio subwoofer grill. Got a couple of these at a thrift store for $2 a piece. Already sold the other one. It sold quickly. This one took about 5 months to sell, but sold it for $35 plus shipping, so made some great profit. Here's a nice pair of Keen work shoes. Got these at a rummage sale. Paid $5 for them. Sold them for $50 plus shipping. They only took about a week and a half to sell. I love it when shoes sell quickly. Here is an Ember coffee mug. Brand new sealed. Paid $25 for this at a garage sale and sold it for $80 plus shipping. It sold in about 5 days of me listing it. It's kind of funny, I got a comment on YouTube literally like 10 minutes after I sold it telling me that these did not sell for more than $50. Maybe they were looking at the 10-ounce mugs, not new or something, I don't know, but reselling is all about predicting. You never know what something is going to sell for. The better you are at estimating and figuring out what things will sell for, the more profit you're going to make, the less mistakes you're going to make. So I was pretty confident I was going to sell it for $80 or more when I bought it. Here's a pair of women's Red Wing shoes. Got these at a rummage sale for a couple dollars. They've been listed for around 3 years. They just have not sold. They're in good condition and everything. It's just not a popular style. And I guess the size is really small. Sure, that has something to do with it. So I lowered the price. Ended up selling them for $20. Still made money on them, but that's just the nature of shoes. Here's a jacuzzi shower head. Got a bunch of these a few years ago on clearance at Lowe's. Only paid like $1 a piece for them. The plan was to sell them on Amazon, and Jacuzzi became a restricted brand on there. So just put them on eBay for $15, and every now and then one sells. So for paying $1, I'm still making money. And it was only one listing with a bunch of quantity, so very much worth it in the end. Here's a solid oak toilet seat. Paid $20 for this and decided to put it on there for $150. Did not really expect it to sell for that, just because it's not a great brand or anything like that. And it did sell in about 4 months for $150 plus shipping. One of those outside of the box flips for sure. I believe a lot of this, solid wood, oak type stuff is coming back. The shelves and everything, people are starting to look for it. Picked up these New Balance slip-on mule shoes. Found them at an estate sale. Paid $3 for them. I might have even paid $2. Got a lot of good shoes at that sale, but sold these for $59 plus shipping, and they took about 4 months to sell. Here's a Civil War book I sold. I actually got a bunch of these one time at a rummage sale. It was selling them on Amazon for like $70 there for a while. Then the price went way down. Anyway, I found this one. It was still here. I don't know if it wasn't listed or just got mixed up or what, but it ended up selling it for $30. I think I had about $1 a piece into them. Here are 19 Tarzan paperback books. Got a bunch of Tarzan books. Had a garage sale a couple years ago. I sold all the hardcover ones, but there's some paperback books that took longer to sell. These sold for $30 plus shipping. At this point...
Was that for me?
No.
Got it. Have a good one.
At this point, they're all profit. Here's an Easton baseball glove. Sold this one for $24. Got like a couple dollars into it. just a bread and butter glove. Sold in about 6 months. Here's a mixed manga lot. Got this with a bunch of others already in the profit. Sold this lot for $20 plus shipping, and it sold in about a month. Picked up this vintage The World's Greatest Travel Game at a rummage sale for 50 cents. Just grabbed it blind because I had never seen it before. Turns out it was selling okay on eBay, so I went ahead and listed it. Sold it for $18 plus shipping, and it sold in about 5 weeks. Here are some Animorph books. These came from a garage sale, got $25 into them, and sold them for $80 plus shipping, and they took about 5 days to sell. Not the complete set. There's 67 volumes in the complete set, but still, it's a fast sale for some good profit. Here's a pair of New Balance shoes. Can't remember if these came from a rummage sale or got them thrifting, but definitely paid $5 or less for them and sold them for $25 plus shipping. Looks like they took about 5 months to sell. Here are some pieces to a Fisher-Price Loving Family dollhouse. Parted one out last year, sold all the other pieces very quickly. Here's a tray and a couple doors to the kitchen appliances. That took longer to sell, but they have sold for $15. All profit at this point. Got a few of these Possible Dreams Santas at a garage sale for $5 a piece. I believe I got some rare ones. This one was pretty rare, sold it for $125 plus shipping, and it sold in about a week. Got the other ones priced around the same, so hopefully they sell for just as much. This is a cool find. This is a vintage Fashion Manor blanket from a Penny's. Still new in the packaging. Got this at Goodwill for $8 and was able to sell it for $60, and it took about a month to sell. People like the vintage stuff. Here's a Star Wars Stormtrooper Nerf gun. These are pretty rare. I paid $20 for this one. I actually got a couple of them. There's a couple flaws with this one. The white is a bit yellowed and it's cracked right here at the end on the sight piece here. So of course disclose that. I priced it $60 plus shipping, and it took about 2.5-3 months to sell this one. The other one I have priced higher because it's in better condition, but still it's good profit. Here are some vintage Halloween die cut decorations. Got these at a garage sale a while ago. I think I paid $0.25 a piece. Seems like I paid maybe more for the larger ones. Put them all on eBay for $30 plus shipping, and they took a little over 2 years to sell. That kind of surprised me. I thought they were better, more desirable. Thought I had some good ones in here. So I'm going to be hesitant to buy these anymore, even at a cheap price, because they're going to be annoying to ship, right? I'm going to have to get 2 big pieces of cardboard, put them in between that. Now that I say it out loud, it's really not that hard, but still made some great profit selling them for $30 plus shipping. It just took a while. Here's a Pikachu graduation plush. Found this one at a Goodwill. I paid $4 or $5 for it. And sold it for $40 plus shipping. Would have sold it for a little bit more, but the tag has been cut off, unfortunately. But still, it sold in about a week, so a nice fast flip. Here's a nice pair of LL Bean shoes. Got these at a Goodwill for $5 and sold them for $45 plus shipping. They took right around a month to sell. Here's a motor from a Sunbeam ice cream maker. Parting it out, paid $5 for it. Found it at a Goodwill. Already in the profit from selling a piece, so this is all profit. Then I still got a couple more pieces to sell. Took about a month to sell this one. Here's a pair of Ortho Feet shoes. Got $5 into these. Found them thrifting. Sold them for $45 plus shipping, and it took around a month to sell. Here's a buffalo leather biker jacket. Got this thrifting for $5. Was not getting a lot of attention on eBay, so lowered the price to $20 plus shipping. It is sold. Took about 1.5 years to sell. Not a lot of profit, but at the time it seemed like it would sell better. Was able to snag these San Antonio Shoe Company shoes. Men's Weekender. This is a nice pair. Only paid $1 for them at the thrift store. Sold them for $45 plus shipping. Took about 2.5 months to sell. Here's a baseball glove. Picked this up for $1 or $2 at a sale. Sold it for $22 shipped. Took around 4 months to sell. Here's a pair of San Antonio Shoe Company shoe sandals. Got these at a church sale for $2, and I sold them for $30 plus shipping. They took about 5 months to sell. Here's a pair of LeBron shoes. Got these thrifting for $5. Sold them for $50 plus shipping. I believe they took about 10 or 11 months to sell. I can barely even remember buying these things, but they have sold and I made some good profit. Here's a portable DVD player, just some off-brand, but it is new in the box. Found this at Goodwill for $10. Sold it for $40 plus shipping. It only took about a week and a half to sell, so I'll take it. Here's a pair of Double H boots. Got these at an estate sale for $8. Sold them for $45 plus shipping. They took about a month to sell. Here's a Bombay Company wooden tea chest. Found this at Goodwill. Paid $4 for it, or I think it was $5 I paid for it, and ended up selling it for $50 plus shipping, and it sold in about 3 weeks is all. Not a bad pickup at all. Here's a Marushi bat I got at a garage sale for $3. Sold it for $38 plus shipping, and it sold in about a week and a half. Here is a Rabbit Tanaka vintage aquarium lamp. These things are pretty popular. Got this one thrifting for $6 and was able to sell it for $65 plus shipping, and it took only about a week to sell. Here are some Nike Torch 4 shoes. Got these at a rummage sale for $2. Sold them for $45 plus shipping, and they sold in about 2.5 weeks. Here's an Olympus camera FE4020. Got this thrifting for only $3. Sold it for $80 plus shipping, and it only took about a day and a half to sell. Some of these digital cameras still hold some really good value if you can find them. Here's a whole house filter. Picked this up at a rummage sale for $1. Sold it for $20 plus shipping. Took about 8 months to sell this one. Here's a Sonic Universe comic. Paid 50 cents for this along with a bunch of other good ones. This is one that I sold for $30, and it sold in about 3 days of me listing it. Fast, easy money. Here's a pair of Brooks shoes. Got these at a rummage sale for $3, and I sold them for $43. Plus shipping. It took right around 4 to 5 weeks to sell. Here's a pair of Puma shoes. Got these at Goodwill for $5. Sold them for $25 plus shipping. That took about 3.5 months to sell. Just a bread and butter shoe flip. Here's a new Bratz doll that I sold. Got this at a rummage sale for $3. Of course, I bought it because it was new and there's some Bratz dolls worth a lot. I figured this was one of the newer ones. If it was a vintage one, it'd be worth hundreds, but still was able to sell it for $25 shipped. It only took a couple days to sell. Here's a pair of San Antonio Shoe Company shoes, some Dream loafers. Got these at a rummage sale for a couple bucks. Sold them for $20 plus shipping. They sold in about 2.5 weeks. Sold one of these Dynatrap mosquito repellers. Got at Home Depot for $8. Sold it for $50 plus shipping. Got one more left. Here's a pair of Jordans. These are pretty valuable, or at least they would be if they were in better condition. Upwards to $250, maybe $300. These have quite a bit of wear on them. I found them thrifting for $5. Still have enough life left that I got $45 plus shipping, and they took about a month to sell. So some of these Jordans, worth picking up even if they are in bad shape. Pays to do a little bit of research. Here's a vintage Zebco Spin Bee reel. Paid $3 for this one and sold it for $45 plus shipping. Took around 2 months to sell. Here's this quick set lock set. Got this thrifting for $5. It is still new in there. Box has been open. Sold it for $50 plus shipping, and it took about 2.5 months to sell. Here are some Micro Machines Star Wars toys. Paid $5 for these. Sold them for $25 plus shipping, and they took around a year to sell. Don't remember the exact details of these Angry Birds Go Telepod toys, because I did get some and sold them on Amazon one time, but I believe I got these at Goodwill. They were in a bag, and I paid about $2 or $3 for them. And sold them for $20 plus shipping. They took around 2 years to sell, so not great. I do remember selling one on Amazon for like $40, but that was a while ago. Still, they've sold and I made money. Got a bunch of these countdown timers on clearance, I believe Lowe's. Sold all of them around Christmas time. This one was left over. It is now sold, $35. Happy to see it gone. Picked up this larger Precious Moments Angel. Got it at a rummage sale for $2. I grabbed it because I sold a nativity set of 2 of these figures. I didn't know if this went with it. I got like $70-$80 I think for the 2 figures, so I thought this could be good. Just threw it in my IKEA bag. Looked it up. It did not look very promising when I got home. Didn't look like they were selling that great, but decided to list it anyway for $20 plus shipping, and it sold in about 2 months. So glad I went ahead and listed it. Still made some good profit on it in the end. There it is, 75 things you can look for out in the wild, make some money. You get out there, make it happen.